Elon Musk decides to step away from the government. And after stepping away from the government, Donald Trump proposes his big, beautiful bill. This big, beautiful bill basically is going to increase spending and bring us into more debt, which is completely against what Elon Musk worked for over the past months. Elon Musk risked his reputation, spent hundreds of millions of dollars. He lost probably billions in his company's stock. As much as I dislike Elon Musk, there is no argument that he sacrificed a lot to help Donald Trump. His reputation got burned to the ground. His personal life went into a fucking spiral downfall. He's got more public attention than he's ever wanted and lost wealth in the process. So clearly, he's angry that Trump has basically undone everything he's worked at for the past several months. Let's go through all the way through this, okay? Let's go all the way so you guys really understand where this beef started from. Okay, let's go ahead and go through this. 2024. As you guys know, Donald Trump was campaigning to become president of the United States, right? It was a do or die situation. If he didn't become president, he would effectively be in prison right now as we speak. He was indicted in 4 different jurisdictions, and it was literally a matter of life and death, right? So during the Trump campaign, he went ahead and stopped and delivered a speech in Butler, Pennsylvania. During the course of this speech, he was talking about immigration, interestingly enough, and he was looking at a chart, right, to his side. And as he was looking at this chart on the side, talking about his immigration policy and how he's better at immigration than the Democrats and all this other stuff, several bullets whizzed right by his head. Him turning and viewing this projector or this image to discuss immigration is what saved his life. Bullet trajectory experts were able to craft how close the bullets came to his head. And had he not had his head tilted that way to look at the chart, he would be dead. So we're talking about a miracle. This occurred sometime in mid-July. After Trump survived the assassination attempt, he stood up and threw his fist in the air and said, fight, fight, fight. Probably one of the most iconic moments in American history. It will go down in history with all the other iconic historic events, right? Whether it be Martin Luther King marching in Washington, D.C., John F. Kennedy saying, ask not what your country could do for you, rather ask what you could do for your country. Just an iconic moment, right? This will live on for centuries. And they got the iconic time photo. After Trump survived that assassination attempt, there was an enormous amount of people that circled around him to support him. One of those people was a guy named Elon Musk, a South African businessman and richest man in the world. So when Elon started supporting Trump heavy, right? Because keep in mind, guys, he was not a Trump supporter before. He was a Ron DeSantis supporter. And then prior to that, he was pretty much like a Hillary/Democrat voter. After that, we saw a surge in Trump's popularity. Huge surge. And I'll never forget because I was there at the Republican National Convention, okay, out in, I think it was in Milwaukee this year, right? I remember being there last summer, shortly after the shooting. And he delivered his first speech after the shooting at the RNC. A lot of people don't know that. And I was there to witness it. And when he walked out and the crowd erupted and he delivered that first speech after being shot, it was something like historic. I can't even explain it. You would have to be there to understand, right? He's there. He's talking on the microphone. There's a big white thing on his ear, right? People were also putting a white thing on their ear. I thought that was kind of corny. But the point is that that's how much effect it had on the people. Elon basically became public with his support of Trump at that point. He weaponized Twitter. He paid people to vote. He spent $200 million plus to make this happen to the Trump campaign, right? Now, let's be honest here. Elon Musk is a businessman first. He didn't donate all this money for the betterment of America, so to speak. He wants less regulation, right? More ability to be profitable, corporate tax cuts, etc. What Republicans typically vote for anyway, right? Because Republicans typically believe in the trickle-down economic theory, right? So during the course of the campaign, throughout the summer, after Elon Musk decides to join, they return back to Butler, Pennsylvania, and Elon Musk is there, right? In a sense of solidarity. So what ended up happening was they ran on that wave and they took the fucking election and they steamrolled Kamala Harris. Now, you guys know I'm no Elon Musk fan at all. He pisses me off a lot, matter of fact. But one thing about me, and you guys know this, is that I'm very objective. If people that I don't like do something right, I will acknowledge it. And I will say without a shadow of a doubt, Elon Musk had a significant role in getting Donald Trump elected. Significant. Okay? I mean, it was to the point where political commentators on the left were angry at X. They were saying it's a fucking Republican/conservative echo chamber. Right? That's how crazy it was. That's how much the support was going for Trump. Also, Elon had hosted a couple of spaces with Donald Trump on X. Right? Now, if you guys are in the political world and you guys enjoy political commentary or you guys enjoy the news or anything like that, Twitter's your app, bro. Let's be honest here. Right? Twitter is mostly for political discourse and news. Are there some retarded streamers and whatever that use X and clip shit? Of course. But X is predominantly a political app, right? So after this happened, we fast forward to November. Kamala Harris is defeated. Donald Trump regains the presidency. And there's an announcement that there is going to be a Department of Government Efficiency. When DOGE is created and officially starts making things happen in 2025 after Trump is inaugurated, etc., I think on January 20th, Musk starts hitting the ground running. He has a team of individuals. They start going to government agencies and figuring out the books, figuring out, how much they're spending and trying to cut down the bureaucratic bloat of the U.S. government, right? During the course of these cuts, he gets a lot of enemies. He cuts something like 100 to 200,000 government jobs. He's getting a bunch of hate. The Democratic Party that used to support him has now turned on him. People are angry. People are pissed off, right? Because nobody likes the guy that comes in and cuts budgets, right? Nobody likes that. So what Elon Musk started to do was he applied a private sector mentality to a government entity, right? The private sector is for profit. The government sector is for bureaucracy, to be honest, right? The government is not as efficient as the private sector, right? So during the course of his efforts as the head of DOGE, he steps away from all of his businesses. He steps away from Tesla. He steps away from SpaceX. He steps away from Twitter. And he's basically devoted all his time to assisting the president with cutting down government spending. To the detriment of his many businesses, to the detriment of his family and his affairs. He ignored everybody pretty much and just focused on what was going on with the government, right? Someone like Ashley St. Clair, who he had sex with and had a kid with, totally ignored her. Stop talking to that bitch, right? Who was that focused on DOGE. And on top of that, guys, he did not take a salary. Him and Donald Trump were the two government employees in this administration that basically worked for free, essentially, right? They decided to not take a salary. Now, while Elon is doing this, working and heading DOGE, his businesses start to suffer. We start to see the decline of Tesla stock because due to Elon Musk's newfound political stature in the conservative right, the people that supported him before that bought Teslas, most of them, I'd be willing to bet half, if not half, at most of them, of his buyers, are progressives. Why? Because progressives are far more likely to buy energy-efficient electric cars, right? Which is completely antithetical to Trump's stance on renewable energy because Trump signed a climate change bill. He signed an executive order to get us out of the Paris climate change agreement. And we talked about this yesterday. In general, conservatives and Republicans really don't give a fuck about global warming. Let's just be honest. Let's call a spade, guys. Okay? Let's just call a spade. Conservatives, right-wingers, whatever you want to call it, they don't give a fuck about climate change. All right? So that is why on Trump's first day, one of the many executive orders he signed was to basically pull out of this Paris agreement, which, prioritized climate change. Now, with doing stuff like that, that kind of tells you guys where Trump stands politically when it comes to climate change. Now, this is hurtful to Tesla. Now, on top of him aligning with Trump and devoting a lot of time to DOGE, Tesla stocks decrease. And more importantly, radical leftists start destroying Tesla dealerships. Multiple instances of individuals firebombing Tesla dealerships, destroying vehicles, vandalizing them, destroying them when they see them at parking lots. This makes the Tesla stock sink even more. It gets so bad that his investors say Elon needs to come back to work and he needs to work 40 hours a week. That's how bad it got. The investors started complaining and saying Elon needs to come back. On top of this, SpaceX is losing money. Twitter is having issues. The algorithm's been fucked for the past month or two. Anybody that's on X understands this, right? So what ends up happening is under an enormous amount of pressure, both politically and personally, in his personal life, you got girls like Ashley St. Clair coming out saying that, you know, he's the father of the baby and suing him, all this other shit. Then all the political headaches that he has to deal with where he's getting hate everywhere and death threats, etc. He decides to step away from the government. And after stepping away from the government, Donald Trump proposes his big, beautiful bill. And here we are today.
Welcome, punch!
This big, beautiful bill that we discussed yesterday basically is going to increase spending and bring us into more debt, which is completely against what Elon Musk worked for over the past months. Elon Musk risked his reputation, spent hundreds of millions of dollars. He lost probably billions in his company's stock. His investors are angry because he's not taking his fiduciary responsibility to them to make them profitable seriously. In other words, as much as I dislike Elon Musk, there is no argument that he sacrificed a lot to help Donald Trump. That's just a fact. You don't have to like Elon Musk to understand that his impact in getting Trump elected was absolutely critical, and he sacrificed a lot to do so. His businesses started to burn to the ground, quite literally. His reputation got burned to the ground. His personal life went into a fucking spiral downfall. He's got more public attention than he's ever wanted and lost wealth in the process. So clearly, he's angry that Trump has basically undone everything he's worked at for the past several months. So all of yesterday, he was complaining about the big, beautiful bill, saying that it's going to create problems. It's going to increase the debt. We're going to get to a point where we can't even pay the principal balance. We're paying the interest only. And obviously, this bill is getting a lot of attention, and Trump already has enough on his plate. He's got a war in Gaza that he's got to deal with, a current genocide. He has a conflict in Ukraine that just escalated with drone attacks by Ukraine into Russia. He's trying to prevent Putin from nuking Ukraine. He's trying to keep the Israelis from doing airstrikes in Iran. He's trying to battle the world with tariffs. The last thing he needs is someone that was basically a member of cabinet going on Twitter saying, yo, what the fuck is going on? So why do I tell you guys all this? I tell you guys all this because I want you guys to understand the full story of how the fuck we got here. And again, as much as I don't like Elon Musk, I understand what he sacrificed and why he's angry. But on the Trump side, I also understand why he's frustrated. He's trying to prevent 2 world wars from happening, quite literally, with nuclear powers. He's got a tariff war with China going on. And then on top of that, we have all the other stuff going on with the cultural and the political discourse going on every single day. So that's how we finally came to the bombshell that is today.